This is why I wasn't meant to have a fucking office job. I'm here to tell you right now.
Oh, 100%. I know that.
Where's my phone?
You dropped it on the floor to your left. How you doing, buddy? You okay?
In shambles. In shambles. Okay. I know I sent you a short of this, but I feel like this is something we need to make the rest of the world aware of.
Okay, yeah.
And it is a sport that I believe is relatively new, and it's called Run It Straight.
Which I'm just going to say, first of all, it's just a lame name. You couldn't be more creative than that. I just feel like it's just such a cop-out of it. Run It Straight. Let's call it Run It Straight.
What would you call two giant Samoan men running full speed at one another and smashing into one another? Give me your ace name for this fucking obscure sport, buddy.
Like Wrecking Ball Extreme.
Wrecking Ball Extreme.
Like full force something, I don't know. I feel like you just come up with so many cooler things than Run It Straight. Or
just call it Head On.
Yeah, Head On, or
this shit is gnarly.
Murder.
Though. Let's go on the old TikToks here. We can watch one of these videos. Apparently, this is the finals. They're doing it indoors on turf.
Well, you can call it you could call it the death wall, but I mean, you'd be stealing the metal term.
You know what? These first couple, they're kind of like warm ups. They're not full sprinting it. Some of the highlights I've seen, they are full blown doing like
these
Oklahoma
are like big
drills.
Fucking Samoan, like giant.
I think they're all rugby players.
Yeah,
I think that is the basis of this is rugby.
Yeah, this is some crazy ass shit though, dude. I don't know, man. Like, this is basically like two people. Imagine like the highest level of pro football players with no pads on, full charging each other and just smashing in each other full force. Is this more?
Oh,
that guy got smoked.
That one got knocked out standing up.
Okay, I have a question. Would you rather do this or power slap? Yeah.
I mean, the potential for future CTE on both of these sports is high.
Correct. So do you want your whole body to get smoked? Or?
Well, no. The problem is with the Run It Straight is you're getting blasted into by another man. I want to see the ones where they're vicious. I need like a highlight reel of the really hard hits.
Basically what they did is they just took literally like what they do in football with pads, and they're like, all right, pads off. And
they should call it fucking Samoan jousting, dude.
That's pretty good, dude. I like that, dude. It is. It's a lot of Samoan dudes, and they're fucking giant, dude. If that guy was running full steam at me, I'd go, nope.
I would say if I had to pick two, I would do the slap thing, because do they do a coin toss or rock, paper, scissors?
They
or
do
how do they
some form of who
determines
goes first. Yeah, it's some kind of random
Depending
thing,
on that, dude, if you got a vicious molly whopper and you can just clap somebody one time and end it immediately, that's the play. Because in this one,
you don't.
I mean, you're getting popped, dude. In this one, you're getting popped no matter what. Like, you can't go, oops, you missed me. Like, the intention is to,
oh, God. I feel like this one is more aggressive, dude, honestly. I guess if I had to pick, I'm probably with you. They're both brutal. But I feel like you're getting full, like, just fucking grown-ass fucking men, just their whole body at you. So that probably hurts.
I think any sane person would do the slapping over this, because this is intense. I would not
let us know in the comments. I am curious. If you had to do power slap or this, and I'll show this in the episode, which one are you guys chewing? I mean,
that's a little fat guy, dude. He had no business trying this sport.
Yeah, what is that guy doing in this? That's like a kid that's like, I'll do it.
No.
Oh, brother. That guy is...
Sometimes size doesn't matter.
Ooh. I feel like lowering your head on that too is very dumb, because that's how you get a concussion or a broken neck, because you got someone's full body coming at your full force. If you lower your head, you're asking for it. That cannot be the strategic play.
I don't know, man. Some people are just built for it. Like, I think at its basis, like, I don't know, they must like it to a certain degree. Some of them are vicious. Like these ones, honestly, I'm having a hard time finding. I should have looked up the clip and studied for the episode beforehand, but there's some of them where both of the guys are not only like they're like defensive, but these guys are like defensive ends. They're big and muscular, and they're just boom smashing into one another, and they move way faster,
dude. It's like linemen on the NFL, man. Like, they're big dudes, but they'll run you down, dude. That shit's freaking insane. I don't know though. I feel like also this just proves that society as human beings are just getting more and more retarded. Like, this is power slap. Let's just run into each other full force. Like, we can't come up with something more creative than this shit.
I mean, I think a lot of it, I don't know what the women do it for because they have the women power slap too, but with guys, it's a machismo thing.
Yeah.
But that's never really how I've wanted to show that I'm like tough or a man.
Nah, me
because you could get fucked up and then you look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's like the kids doing all those street takeovers and stuff. Now, there's another thing I hate where they're doing the donuts in the intersection. The people will go out and kind of play chicken with them, and some of these people get fucking decimated. There's one short, I think I sent it to you.
Talking. I've seen it myself, and they're no longer with us.
Oh, you went to a dark place. The one that
Oh, okay. The one I saw is where they're doing donuts in the street. And then that car comes through the light, and two of them are hanging out the car, and it gets smoked, and it just clips.
Well, that one I think was just a solo person fucking around, because when they do these street takeovers, they block all four ways, so you have kind of like a pit in the intersection.
That's stupid.
No, the one I seen, this guy's coming in one of those SRT Hellcat Chargers, and he's whoop, and he's sliding. This big Samoan dude with a mullet can't get out of the way fast enough, and the car smacks it with the rear quarter panel. He flies, does a roll, immediately hops up, and you're like, okay, home dude's good. They pan back to the car. The whole side of the car is smashed in, dude.
I'm going to guess that guy's still not good either.
Oh, definitely not good. Bruised for sure.
But nah, that shit's crazy, dude. It's like one of those things, too, where it's like the old saying too in the UFC is like, there's always going to be someone tougher than you. You can think you're fucking tough, but there's always someone out there that's going to be tougher.
Always
there's
somebody
always
with a
someone
bigger
that has your
stick.
number and shit, dude. So it's like, I just don't want to do that shit, dude. I'm good, man. I'm a lover, not a fighter, you know? So
have you ever hurt yourself at work? That's always my great concern with my job, especially because we don't have PTO, is I try to be careful. You get to a certain level of comfortability. I've definitely stood on the very top of many ladders, which you're not supposed to do.
Damn, yeah.
But you ever had a little oopsie?
Well, you're high up in like buildings too when you're doing the stadiums and shit. That would kind of scare me, dude. But
you're usually harnessed, like you harness off.
Well, it's still scary.
That's some Final Destination shit, level shit. If you think the harness is out to get you,
it's that impossible to snap.
There was one time, speaking of Raider Stadium, they were lifting these big electrical cabinets up into the building, but they had to go through all that building steel on the outside because it has that lattice work of iron beams and stuff. So these crane operators, a lot of people shit on them because, I mean, they literally just sit in a cab all day and do this, but
you got to know your shit though, probably. Dude.
Correct.
Yeah. And like, you got to really be paying attention to what's going on. Did you ever see that one? It's an older video where the guy gets picked up accidentally, dude, and he has to hold on, and then the crane didn't see that he was like stuck because he got stuck on the thing. Like somehow he got like hooked on the thing, so he's like dangling under the thing. Ooh. And thankfully they saw it in time and brought him down, but he was like 4 stories up until they realized, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, at the stadium, they had people signaling on the radio. A lot of times at their line of sight, there's hand signals. And,
you better have multiple eyeballs on shit, I would imagine. Right? Yeah, but
the ironworkers used to do that. They used to jump on the ball for fun, or like if they were flying a piece of iron, they just jump on it like a fucking cowboy and ride it. Those guys are unhinged. Those are the guys that are doing
like
run it straight
shit.
and fucking power slap. They're iron workers.
Like, I've never gotten seriously hurt at work, and you can call me a bitch for this, but like, have it happen to you and then come back to me. I used to have to do trucks when I was a store manager for CVS, and you deal with a ton of boxes, and I would get cardboard like cuts.
Oh, cardboard cuts are vicious.
Dude, you think a paper cut's bad? Ooh, that thing slices into some instant like, ooh, and like in between. Oh, dude.
And then you hit the same spot again.
Oh, dude.
It's funny that you prefaced it with that, because I'm sure a lot of people at home are like, pussies, go run your finger across some cardboard and see how immediately horrible that is.
Like, it's bad. It slices you bad. So those
did you ever get like a real gusher where you're like, oh shit?
Yeah. I mean, nothing like where I'm like, oh shit, like stitches type crazy shit, but like I had to bandage it up and stuff, and dude, it was brutal, and it was like a regular thing. So that was always just a nightmare when that would happen. But like, other than like that, nothing Nothing where I got like seriously injured or nothing. But that shit hurt. Like, it was like constant. So my hands
cardboard
were always
cuts are the worst. I'm so used to getting like, I mean, I have a bunch of scabs and shit on my hand right now. I'm so used to it at work anymore. I'm just like, oh, got a little cut. But the thing at Raider Stadium with the safety gear, so we were flying it in. I had to remove safety barricades because the clearance was so tight for the crane to be able to get it in there. So I had to have a harness on because I was right near the leading edge. There was nothing there. It was a little windy on this day.
How high up are you? Like, you got to be like high, right? Like, is that fucking like, is that like towards the top of the stadium?
It was on the 300 level, so it was toward the top. So fuck, I can estimate distance, but heights for some reason kind of get me. If I had to guess, I would say probably at least like 80 to 100 feet off the ground.
I mean, that's a lot
up there, dude.
That's still a lot, yeah.
He was using a smaller crane to bring this because they had some insane huge cranes. If I can find, I think I have pictures and videos. If I can find them, I'll send them to you so you can plug it in. But when they were installing the big pieces of the roof, they flew in the world's biggest crane, and it came in all these containers, and they had to assemble it on site. It was actually pretty badass.
Oh, at the arena, world's biggest crane. That's funny, dude. That's cool.
And it was giant. The control room was like an office. It was
like
huge.
Multiple people and shit. That is cool.
So it was a little windy on the day, and he had to, because cranes have a certain safety. The machine will like lock you out from doing certain things because it's outside of the safe parameters, and it could potentially cause it to tip or something. I needed him to go up a little further, so he had to like disengage one of those safeties.
And you said it's windy, so it's kind of probably already swaying and shit, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But you have, when you're flying stuff like this, you have what's called a tag line on it, so you can grab it and you can control it. Like you can hold it.
Yeah.
So
it's like some old school.
He's bringing it in, but basically what needs to happen is he has to time it to where he kind of sets it down.
Ooh.
Like in one move. Like bloop.
It's like Tetris in real life, dude.
Yeah. So he's going to set it down. I have the tagline and I'm just grabbing the cabinet to pull it in. It gets off to where it has no contact with the cement. A gust of wind blows and me and the cabinet just go whee. And the safety line, because it's a steel cable on my harness, was like, yank, get back here. And it hit the stop and it swung us back in. He couldn't see us. And the apprentices that I was working with was like, drop it, drop it, drop it. And he just went bloop. And I stood there and I was like, I'm glad I made it back home safe today.
Fuck, that's frightening, dude. Were you like, oh, fuck in that moment? You got to be like panicking. Or did you trust that you were fine?
I just didn't know. So here's the thing. I trust the safety harnesses. I know they work. We go through extensive training. On certain job sites, they make you harness up and they will suspend you so you can feel what it's like. A lot of them have handles on them that you can pull that will put you in a seated position. So if you fall, you're not dangling while you're waiting to get rescued.
They've gotten a lot crazier then since probably a while ago.
Some of them have like a little cord you can pull and a step goes down. You put your foot in it and you can step to kind of relieve the pressure. Because when you fall in a harness, it cuts into your groin. It is
it doesn't feel
uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, dude. Like it holds you. It's like get over here, bitch. Like it does not let you.
Dude, have you seen those old photos of those New York psychopaths, like in the olden days, where they're all just eating lunch on a fucking steel beam with?
I think a lot of that was in Chicago too. Yeah, those guys are savages, man. That's why there was a lot of deaths in construction back in the day,
insane, dude. Yeah, that just made me think of that shit. Yeah. That's a wild picture.
Yeah, I mean, we still do some pretty wild shit at work, but the early days of construction was...
Yeah, that was like the Wild Wild West, dude.
It was,
that'd be scary, dude.
No, so there was a job I was working on more recently. Me and this guy had taken the call together. This guy's kind of a goof. Now, to be in all honesty, good worker. He came from the non-union side, so he doesn't really understand a whole lot about the union. He hasn't been in for a long time, but he's a pretty good worker. Strange guy. He told me on like the second day that we were working together that he had dentures, which I don't know why I needed to know that. I was
random.
Like, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people will share shit with you.
Yeah. I mean, that's like what this was born of, is just like having little conversations at work. But some things, it's like, damn, I hardly know you. Fake
yeah,
teeth.
don't be sharing that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe he just doesn't feel embarrassed about it, or maybe he has to do things with it at work where he's like, I'd rather just get out of the way and tell you now. So if you see me grab my teeth out of my mouth, you're not like, whoa, like a horror film or something, dude. You just look over and his teeth are gone, you know?
Nah, I think people that have dentures typically keep them in their gob. you know, because they're embarrassed about him or what.
Yeah, but maybe he's just
know.
trying to take away some type of shock factor, maybe. But, I mean, if we live long enough, we might all end up there too.
Fuck no, dude. I brush and floss twice a day. I'm not losing my teeth. So I had worked with this guy before, and I don't know, like I said, he's a pretty good worker and he gets stuff done, but he has all these, as far as he says, he has all these medical issues and stuff. And so
he's an older guy?
No, I think he's probably like early 40s, so he's maybe a little older than us. That's another reason that like the dentures thing was strange.
Yeah,
I've worked with
that's unfortunate. That sucks.
One of my old foremen, rest in peace, Charlie, he had dentures too, and I knew it. And one day I was just fucking with him at work because he was being all salty, and I was like, you got a really good set of teeth. Like, you got a nice smile. And he just looked at me and he was like, fuck you.
Yeah, that's unfortunate when you're that young.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. It's all good.
We take the call, we go out to work. They initially, when you're new on a job, a lot of times they'll put you with somebody that's been out there so they can kind of show you the ropes. Or if there's two of you that are going to be new and you're going to kind of be slow to begin with, they'll just kind of put you on a task that gets you familiar with the kind of work that you're going to be doing and so on and so forth. So he and I get put in a room together. And we're just swapping out a bunch of receptacles, or what you people at home would call plugs. I don't care. That doesn't offend me. Technically, a light bulb is supposed to be called a lamp, not a light bulb. Who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
So
tomato.
We're working together. Now, we're in a situation where we need to be in and out of this place when we're done. Like, you can't, a lot of times, like when you're on an active construction job, you can leave something half done, like I'll be back tomorrow or Monday or whatever, you know?
If it's not a safety thing,
but this is an occupied building, so every time we're done with work, we got to be done, and it has to be cleaned up to the point that like we're not leaving any hazards behind, no messes, etc. So you kind of want to disassemble and do things in little chunks, so that way if you get caught up, you can still finish by the end of the day, get everything buttoned up, and get the fuck out of there. My man did not. He disassembled. Like, we essentially divided this room in two, and I was diligently doing it the non-psychopathic way and taking things apart a little bit at a time. He just stripped all the shit off the wall.
Whoa.
So I'm like, whatever, he'll get it done. Well, this guy was fine up until this point. Right as we get to lunch, this is on our second day, by the way, he's like, I gotta go to the hospital. And I'm like, what?
Dude.
yeah. I gotta go to the hospital. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, what's going on? And I had remembered from working with him previously that he had said he has kidney stones or whatever. I've had a kidney stone. They're horrible. But also, it seemed like kind of bullshit, because for those of you out there who have had a kidney stone, or if you haven't, I'm about to educate you, the pain kind of builds over time. It's not something that just immediately is like, yeah, you have a pain. Like, you can feel the stone moving through you like an alien, making its exit from your body. So he leaves. I have 2 hours left at the end of the day to throw all of his shit back together. So I'm pretty miffed, but also it's like, you can't be mad.
There's no one else there that they can throw in to help and be like, hey, help Kyle.
Not at the time.
Okay.
I ended up getting it done anyways. And then he proceeds. So this was on a Tuesday. He proceeds to just call out for the rest of the week, which I was like, wow.
And this was Tuesday?
Second day of work. So he got 1 3/4 days in before he ended up taking a 3-day vacation. Now, in our line of work, we have no PTO. Now, that being said, people are pretty understanding. If you have to leave early or show up late because you have an appointment, if you got to take some time off to take a vacation or whatever, you kind of got to feel it out. Like, you want to work for a place for a while before you start taking time off, if that makes sense.
No, I understand.
It sucks.
That's any job, though. In all fairness, like, you don't want to start a job and just call out. Like, it's not good. Yeah. That's any job.
I mean, in construction, it is the kiss of death, dude. It really is. Like, it's not even anything personal. It's just a business decision, because if you're immediately
then
not
you're gonna
showing
do
up,
that. You're already showing your character of like, oh, this is going to be a regular thing. If you're already doing, and unless it's like some insane emergency, because emergencies in life happen, if it's just you calling out just because you don't feel good, you know what I'm saying, then like, that's any job. I
don't know.
That person,
you got to kind of lock in. Dudes will just go to work lightly fucked up to avoid missing, because I've worked with guys that have, like, this one guy smashed his hand on another job, and that shit swole up. He ended up leaving early. He showed up the next day and he's like, I think I need a bigger glove. I'm like, You need to go home, man.
The glove doesn't fit. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude.
But it sucks because, like, you know, out. When you don't have PTO and you've been unemployed for a bit, like, you want to continue to make money. He did not, clearly. He wasn't feeling good. Apparently he had a doctor's note and stuff, but once again, if you're missing work, they're going to get rid of you. So the next week on Wednesday, he comes back to work the next week. He's working. The foreman that we were working for loved him, was like, damn, this guy's getting stuff done. But also, you know, there is the fact that he called out. They hire another guy. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, see you later, buddy. You are getting the fucking axe, dude. You're out of here.
They didn't even wait for him, too. That's so fucked up, dude. It's like walking into my job and there's already another fucking...
There's somebody sitting at your desk.
Like, are you new or... And then...
Are you Derek?
Yeah.
I'm like, your replacement. Oh. Hi.
Yeah, fuck. That would suck, dude. That's kind of shitty, honestly. I don't like that.
So... He starts getting paranoid. I mean, I knew. You're gone, buddy. He starts getting paranoid, and he's asking
But he has to know, too, though. Come on. If he's been in the union a little while, then he'd have to know, like, I fucked up.
I don't know. He was still, like, pretty nice. You got to be in it for quite a while and get around and get a little experience under your belt to really have a good intuition for these kind of things. Thursday, he's really getting paranoid, and we're working in different areas. I am working on a ladder, and... he keeps coming in and out of the area that I'm in and bringing up the new guy and all this shit. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I want to be honest with him, but I also am just like, you're about to find out.
Yeah.
So I also knew he was going to get laid off on that day because I had just started and we got paper checks and he didn't get one. So I was like, you're definitely gone now. Fuck. The writing is on the wall.
Why wouldn't they just cut him a check, though, even if they were going to get rid of him? Wouldn't they go, here's your check and see?
Well, it's because they're going to give him two. So they don't want to give him one, then one. They just give them both to you at the same time. Okay. That's another one of those things you kind of learn in the union. If you see other people got their checks and you got no checks, you're getting two checks. And getting told, see you fucking later. Like, you're hitting the road.
Yeah. The two check, goodbye, dude.
So... he's really irritating me. You know, I don't have anything personal against this guy. Oh, also, during this week, he had broken his top denture, so he only had bottom teeth. So he looked... So he looked and sounded weird. And I felt bad, but at the same time, I was just like, God, get the fuck out of it. Get out of here. So at a certain point, I'm on the ladder. My tape measure falls off of my pocket. Now, for anybody who's ever been on a ladder and dropped a tool, usually that thing bounces clear to the other side of the room and it's gone and you don't even have to worry about it being underneath you. Well, it ended up right behind me. So as I'm coming down the ladder, I slip on it, I fall, the ladder flies across the room, I fall into a bunch of shit behind me and make all kinds of noise and stuff, and I'm like, I scratched my arm and stuff.
This is how you hurt your ankle, right? Or whatever?
Yeah, and I twisted my ankle pretty bad. So I was having flashbacks at that point because I had fallen off a ladder on another job. This one, I just stepped on the stupid tape measure and twisted my ankle. The other one, I had fallen off a ladder. So I'm like, no, I don't want to be hurt again. And I'm mad as shit because I just fell. Yeah, you're like, and he comes back in the room, which I can appreciate because he was checking on me to make sure I was okay. But I'm just sitting there and I'm like, God damn it, motherfucker. So he checks on me and I'm like, I'm good, man. I'm good. And I'm gimping. I'm trying to see if I shattered my ankle or if it's just a minor thing, and he's just standing there looking at me, and I was so mad at that moment that I was just like, get the fuck out. What are you doing still standing here staring at me while I'm hurt? Get the fuck out, I'm mad. And he was weird. Like, oh.
That's funny. That would be weird. Why are you just standing there staring? That's kind of awkward. I guess he was like trying to maybe come in and like help you but didn't want to help you. I don't know. That's awkward.
Yeah, I don't know. There's also have you ever like fucked up at work, like had, you know, you've seen the videos of like the workers at like Lowe's or Home Depot and they hit the shelf with the forklift and it's a domino effect and everything falls. Have you ever had anything happen where you're like, oh, I'm fired?
Honestly, no. I wish I could tell you that I did, but no, honestly. I just don't work like, besides like being in management and like moving like product around and shit. I've worked like hotel jobs and shit like that where there's not really...
They would be freak accidents if it happened.
Yeah, like there's not really anything you can do to like fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess there was like, no, there's not like, no, you know.
So if you want to become the most bullied person on a job site, and this is typically when they're renovating buildings, they'll gut them and then rebuild the insides, slap a new face on the outside, and you're gentrified, you know? So the sprinkler system, typically they'll leave it in, and then they'll just kind of rework it to suit the new setup, like a fire sprinkler.
Yeah. Got you.
Every once in a while, this isn't a frequent occurrence on construction jobs, but every once in a while, somebody just rips one of those motherfuckers out.
Does it cause them to go off?
No, typically,
okay.
No, thankfully,
that would
because
be insane, like flood the floor.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, the thing that I think most people don't know is the water in those pipes is gross.
Oh, it's
gross. It's like black. It smells because those pipes have like oil and stuff on them to kind of keep them from getting rusty, and
that makes sense because you don't want to get
shit.
Yeah,
But the water is gross. It's super gross. But when somebody rips one out, it's a spectacle. It's like when there's an accident on the freeway, everybody has to rubberneck and look at it, and you're like, come on, like, go. Especially if you're a part of the situation, you're like, I hate that everybody's staring at me.
Can you fix that?
Yeah. But the problem with most systems is they're like gravity fed, so there's a low point. So if you hit something or you rip something out near the low point, the whole system's going to drain. So it's like there's nothing you can do. You just have to wait for the mess to be over and then clean it up.
Oh, shit.
So I had witnessed this happening like multiple times throughout my apprenticeship, and I was always like, thank God it's not me. And I was always you always get told to be super careful around them because it's just something that can cause a huge mess.
Are they easy to break? Are they pretty easy to break, or you kind of have to really?
I mean, honestly, they're pretty fucking durable. Like I've run into the pipes and stuff with the little lifts in the air, and you're always like, did I get it? Oh,
okay, yeah, all right. And they hold. That's pretty good.
Yeah, most of the time. Not on this occasion that I'm about to tell you about. So, I'm a 4th-year apprentice. I was working for this really small shop. We were doing fire alarm. I loved this job. Everybody I worked for was cool. The journeymen I had were cool. They were like the opposite of the first experience I had getting in the union. They were all just cool. They wanted to teach me stuff. They, they still like picked on me and kind of joked with me, but more like, more in a helpful way. They weren't pricks, basically. So we're on a bigger job, and they ripped out one of those big Cirque du Soleil theaters at Aria.
Okay, yeah.
And they installed floors. They turned it into a multi-level thing to just put in those business and meeting rooms that they rent out at all the properties. Those shits are a cash cow.
Oh,
casino and stuff.
They are. Yeah, like their little convention areas and stuff. Yep.
Yeah,
I know exactly about those.
So they wanted to jam this out because they had already booked the spaces. So we were working overtime.
Oh, that's fucking crazy. Booking it before it's even done. That's wild.
Oh yeah, I mean they are all about every second they don't have something open. They in their mind they're losing money, so they want it done.
But also like Vegas, stop fucking gouging people. And I'm not gonna say some CEO of some big casinos watching this shit, but like the numbers in Vegas it's dying. Like everyone knows Vegas is dying, dude. Like stop gouging people. They just want to fucking nickel and dime everybody, and it's turned a lot of people away, dude. It's kind of hurt the city, honestly. Not that I go down there anymore.
They have the same argument that every company does. It's the same with your groceries at the supermarket. They're like, oh, this is a condition of the market, and it's like, but you guys set the market.
Correct.
So
you're doing it.
Why are you fucking us?
Yeah.
It is concerning for me just because, fortunately I'm not currently in a situation with my work where I depend on the strip,
but you do work with them, so
but that is the bulk of our work. So it is important that they keep going. So it's like, let's make it a little more affordable for people to come here and spend their fucking money.
Yeah, agreed.
And also don't buy a $1,200 Mr. Beast package and expect that smug fuck to be there to hang out with
dude.
you.
I read about that. That's wild, dude. But Resorts World in itself is also just it's just like a fucking catastrophe of a property, dude. It's a ghost town. They fired multiple people. No one wants to fucking go there.
It's such a cool, like, aesthetically pleasing spot, honestly, when you go in there.
Like
it's
Fountain
very nice.
Blue that you worked on. Like, no one fucking talks about going there, dude. Like, it's just not. It's not doing it.
It's because they're kind of like lightly separated from the strip.
Kind of, yeah.
Like they're
on, like,
close,
the other side.
But they're not real close. And also Fountain Blue's across from the Circus, which is like...
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. If you know the area, you know it's rough as fuck down there. Yeah, you don't want to be walking down in that
Travel
area,
Lodge.
Oh.
We used to park at that Travelodge, and we were working at Fountain Blue, and the call girls were getting their money. They'd be coming out every other morning. We'd see one of those doors pop, and 2 chicks would come out, and some old guy was there in his underwear and his undershirt, just grinning from ear to ear. So, you know,
they're making their
doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
We could tell they were there when there was like a 2006 Ford Explorer with one back window is a garbage bag that's been taped on, California plates, 3 different rims.
Yeah, I believe it, dude. It's grungy.
So we're working this job, and they want to get it done quick. So everybody's working on top of one another. It's just work going on.
How many people could be working in like an area usually?
I mean, it just varies. Like, I would say there was probably at least a couple hundred people on this job of various trades, and it's like, you know, everybody's trying to do their thing in a certain area or whatever. So,
but they got to do it in an order to some degree, right? Like they have to wait for you to do something until they can do something, or they're just like, fuck you, I'm doing it anyway. Oh my god.
It's the law of the jungle, dude. You're either in or you're out. Oh yeah,
dude, that's intense, dude. Okay,
I would say this is a hot take, and I guarantee you, if you make this a short, there will be all kinds of other tradespeople that'll jump in and talk mad shit about electricians. But I would say, by and large, in my experience, in my local in Las Vegas, Nevada, we go out of our way to not interfere with other people's shit, and our stuff is constantly getting fucked up by other people, and I just have to go back and fix it and eat that. I still motherfuck people and yell at them.
Like non-electricians are fucking your shit up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, this is why I don't like fire sprinkler guys. They're like notorious for that shit, and that they were a part of the whole scenario that I was in. So I'm in this tight space. It's right next to a stairwell. I'm right next to a stairwell on the top floor. I think there was like 4 floors to this.
Okay.
We're working. I'm running what's called MC, which is like wires that are surrounded by this steel coil that like protect them.
Okay.
So instead of like putting pipes up and pulling the wire through it, this is like an all-in-one thing where you can just smack it on the wall and it's good to go. So I'm doing that. This guy who's trying to work on some of the sprinkler stuff near me is down there tapping his toe going, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So I'm rushing. So when you're going up and down in these scissor lifts in different areas, you got to be aware of the shit around you so you don't run into things. And then sometimes you'll go up and something.
You're the one like controlling it too, right? It's
correct. Yeah. I would not be up in that shit if someone else was on the sticks. Like, I do not trust anyone that much.
That's fair. Okay.
So, but sometimes you have to get up high, so you'll kind of trap something in your basket and it'll come in the basket, but you're good. You just have to remember that you need to go down and get out from under that before you move around so you don't snap that bitch off. So in this particular position I was in, I had gone up over a sprinkler line, and it was just kind of like in my basket.
Okay.
Right? This guy's telling me to hurry, so I'm trying to go as quickly as I can. So I forget that I have trapped this thing with me.
Oh, no.
So I run the cable. I had to move forward a little bit, and I didn't end up disturbing it. So once again, I didn't get a reminder that it was there. And I get it done. I'm like, all right, okay, I'm moving. I'm going down. And I go down. The rail of the lift hooks onto the sprinkler. And before I realized it was happening, it just goes boom and just rips it out.
Fuck.
All this water's pouring out. It fucking smells. There's a stairwell right there. It's running down the stairwell.
It's that much water?
This guy's screaming at me. He's like, get the fuck out of the way, you fucking idiot. And he's calling me everything but a Christian. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting fired. I am getting fired. Fired. Because this was a smaller shop, and if they would have had to pay, because they had drywalled the stairwell and it was semi-finished, so if they had to pay to like rip all that out and repair it, fired. You just cost the company a bunch of money. And I wouldn't have even been mad at them for doing it. So I wanted to kill the guy for yelling at me after he was the reason that I rushed and ripped the shit out of the ceiling in the first place. But I needed to go find my boss, Vern, to tell him what was going on. I'm also sweating it because when you rip a sprinkler drop out of a ceiling, a lot of the times you're going to be going to take a drug test after that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Any accident or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's why a lot of guys in the union, if you get a little boo boo, you just kind of eat that. Or if you break something and nobody's around, you get the fuck out of there so nobody discovers that it was you. Like, I mean, this is real. And because at the time, I was smoking a lot of weed. I could not pass a drug test. So I went and found Vern. He came up and looked at it. This is the situation where that was the lowest point. So just dumped all that water and it just went down the stairwell. And I'm just depressed. I'm like, fuck, dude. And I just told him, I'm like, am I fired? Because I had spent like 2 or 3 hours with a bunch of laborers vacuuming up all the water and all this shit. I'm wet all up on my pants. I'm upset. I'm like, this sucks. He's like, nah. He's like, just go home. Go home. Like, you'll be all right. Well, the journeyman that I had, Ben, he knew that I smoked weed. He has no, not him. One of the other guys that we worked with, that was the other guy's brother, was a huge pothead and shit. So like he knew, but he was cool. Like as long as you show up and you do your job, like I don't know, don't like be getting high at work and stuff, like whatever. But you know, you're always going to be an outlaw with that shit when you're working in construction. They're never going to make that legal or okay.
Well, until they can figure out a way to test it if you're currently on it or you did it at another time, because they can't differentiate that right now, then yes. But I feel like there might be a day where it comes where it's like he's on it now or he is just a user.
Nah, maybe. I just don't think they I mean, obviously they don't want you doing it at all.
No,
so I come home. I'm all sad. I go to sleep. I get up the next, because we were working 12-hour days, so I didn't get to sleep for long. Yeah. And I go back, and I didn't even really think about it. That's an MGM property, and MGM is their own contractor, or they have their own contractor's license, so they could essentially initiate like you getting a drug test, which I didn't really think about. So I show up to work, and I'm like, fuck, there's no way I can get to a smoke shop and get a thing of fake piss.
Oh, so they're doing it.
I had no idea, but I expected it was a potential thing because like I hadn't really interfaced with anybody. Vern was just like, I'll take care of it. He's like, this isn't a big deal. Like the company's gonna have to pay for the hours that those guys spent cleaning it up, which isn't that big of a deal. So he's like, whatever, it's all good. But I'm like, fuck, dude. So I text Ben and I'm like, hey, do you think I'm gonna be getting drug tested? And he just kind of sends me back this emoji.
The shrug.
And I
use the shrug.
And I text him back a picture of an empty water bottle, and I'm like, I'm gonna need you to fill this, dude. And I was so paranoid. I walked around with Ben's piss tucked in my pants all day, dude.
Oh my god, dude, nasty.
And the worst part is I didn't even end up getting drug tested, dude. So I walked around with this piss for nothing. I finished that job too with zero issues.
Dude, it's hilarious. Walking around with someone else's piss is wild.
You know what? You know what I was upset with? I didn't get hard hat stickered. This job was like somebody was making stickers every time somebody fucked up. So there was this guy named Peter who got on a forklift and got it stuck on top of a 5-inch pipe. And so they made a sticker that said 5-inch Peter. Oh, it had a forklift on top of the pipe.
It's pretty funny.
There's another guy that got laid off because he didn't tell on somebody else, and he told like the main boss, I ain't no snitchy poo. So they made a sticker with the company logo, and on the outside it said, I ain't no snitchy poo.
That's pretty funny.
And there was a bunch of other ones. That shit was funny.
Well, they didn't sticker you then.
I mean, I would have enjoyed the creativity of what they would have come up with. I thought I was gonna get stickered. I'm fine with being shamed. Like, fuck it.
That's wild. Did you hear just a little side note, because it actually popped up on here. Did you hear about the prisoners in New Orleans that escaped, and there was like 11 of them, and they like literally like spent years like sawing out that little hole in the wall and shit, and they like climbed through and they all got through. But the two things that are super funny about this, one, someone wrote above the thing T-O easy, meaning too easy, but my guy, it's T-O-O, you fuck, with too easy. So that just
let me guess, they got caught shortly after.
And one dude, not a day after, is on Instagram Live. I'm out here, son. Like, you fucking idiot, dude. What are you doing?
Dude, prison talk is a thing. You haven't seen the videos of the boys in there? They're like
phones
using the bed in the fucking cell to make quesadillas and shit.
Dude, it's fucking wild. But I don't know if you saw that story, but you should look into it. It's pretty wild. I think they haven't caught like all of them yet, because there was like 10 or 11 of them. But that shit was hella funny, and the fact that some dude's already on Instagram Live like, we out here, it's like, buddy, like you're just fucking setting yourself up to get fucking caught, dude.
I respect your moxie, but it's like, you think you're gonna get away?
Yeah.
In 2025, you think you're fucking getting away? You would have to be like some baby of fucking DB Cooper and fucking Kaiser Soze to get away in this day and age.
Yeah, but I would say this could be kind of a fun question to round out the episode is if you had to come up with an escape plan to get out of prison, what's your escape plan, dude?
Well, first thing I'd do is I'd call Sylvester Stallone, because if we all know anything, it's that he is a professional at escaping maximum security facilities.
Well, escape plan, right? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah.
I think they made a couple of them
They
shits
did,
too.
They did, yeah. Isn't Jason Statham in one of them?
Dude, there's no fucking way I'd try to get out.
Oh, you're not even gonna try? What if someone told you, some unknown force said, if you could successfully figure a way out, you won't get caught? I'm making it.
Who's not gonna take that fucking deal, Derek?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the problem,
So
is you are going to get caught. I'm not chiseling my way through a wall. I would just eat it. Like, I would not try to get. I wouldn't try to get out.
Oh, really?
You're
Okay.
fucked.
Yeah.
Certain situations you got to be like, I'm fucked. Like if there was a giant, like tsunami wave that was like 30 stories tall, and you're on the beach staring at it, you're like, oh, I'm fucked. I'm dead.
Still got to watch Shawshank Redemption, because you'll see how he gets out, and it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. But what time period was that movie based in? Like the 20s? You could start a whole new life.
I think it's like the 50s, like the 50s or something. It's like 40s or 50s, I think, if I remember, because he has like old school like Corvette or something that was really sick. But
so
still, whatever. It'd be hard to escape even back then.
I thought of another time where I fucked up, but in a different way. When I was in my early 20s, I dated this girl named Allie. She had a super wealthy family.
You've talked about it on the pod, if I'm pretty sure. I mean, people have to go back for that, so it's good to refresh them. But yeah,
yeah, she had a wealthy family. Her dad apparently had some kind of connection to the mob. He had a wig and hair plug business that was somehow a front for the mafia. I have no fucking idea.
That's wild, dude.
I don't even remember his name. He and I, funny enough, never met the entire time I was fucking his daughter, but whatever.
Weren't you together for like years?
It was on and off. It was an extremely toxic,
that's still crazy not to meet
ride
like
of a
her dad,
relationship.
unless she didn't have like a good relationship with him.
I was around her mom all the time. Her mom hated me. Her mom treated me what I imagine like a medieval lady would treat her serfs, dude. Like
Why did she hate you though?
I don't know. I think any number of reasons. She's a terrible person. She doesn't like cool people. I don't know, Derek. No, she just didn't like me. I think it was because Allie and I had gone to middle school together, which is how I knew her, and we had reconnected and started dating anyways. And the parents got together to make us little costumes for the Christmas pageant, and I think my mom was kind of shitty to her mom, so I think that's why she didn't like me.
Makes sense.
But also, they were like very rich and well off and shit, and I was not. I mean, I was working at fucking Lowe's when I was dating their daughter, so.
Yeah, well, I guess.
So she was always kind of passive aggressive and shitty towards me, which I was just like, whatever. Yeah. I didn't care at the time. But at a certain point, she, knowing that I'm handy and I kind of work on cars and can do things, she wanted to change the brakes. She wanted to fix the brakes on her car, which was a Mercedes. Okay. She wants to fix the brakes on her car. She wants to help me, which I knew right off the bat I was going to be doing the entire fucking job myself.
Oh, Jesus.
Show her how to fix the brakes on her car.
Yeah, okay.
So,
show me. Okay.
For those of you out there that aren't familiar with this, luxury vehicles, when you're doing, because I could do the brakes on your or my car easy. I have all the tools. It's something I know how to do. I've never done a Ford Fusion or something, but
just call my car on the fucking pod right
Volkswagen now. GTI, whatever. I could do it because it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
The more higher end cars, they have all kinds of monitoring systems and shit. Like, I believe they could even tell you when the brakes are getting low.
Yeah, it's very electronic nowadays and shit.
Yeah, so you have to have computers to talk to the car's computer to reset certain things and do all that. I knew that. I had a friend who was a Mercedes-Benz tech. He let me borrow his little computer that had the codes to interface with her shit, and it was all good. But I did tell her up front, I've never done a car as expensive as yours before. I'm not sure, like I don't want to. And she's like, no, it'll be fine. And like multiple times, I'm like, this could end up in you having to tow it to the dealership, and I don't want to do that to you. Ooh. Are you sure you'd like to continue? And she was like, yes. I think
I'm surprised you didn't just at some point just say, hey, I can do it.
You'll understand why I didn't.
Okay.
So I get over there. I get the car up. I'm taking stuff apart. I've plugged in. He told me how to do it. I plugged into the computer. I'm like talking to it and I'm doing all the things. I replace the parts. She kind of every once in a while touches something, but for the most part, she's just staring over my shoulder while I do all the work.
Okay, so she's just hanging out. That's kind of also annoying too.
Nah, I mean, I don't know. I think perhaps her heart was in the right place and she was trying to curate some kind of little bonding moment between us where she could be less hateful towards me because I'm helping her, but who the fuck knows?
Okay.
So, so I get it done. I get the car back together. I turn it on. The thing is just deadlocked, stopped. The brakes are just, and the car won't move fucking anywhere.
Oh, shit.
And I just close my eyes. I'm sitting in the driver's seat. She's standing right outside the door next to me. And I'm just like, oh no. Oh no.
And you did everything like normal, like feeling like what you'd normally do for any other car. Like there wasn't any different weird way of doing
well, I mean, the main problem was like the computer shit. Okay. So I did something to trigger something that made them bitches just lock up. Ooh. So now, like, I'm trying to kind of be like, hey, okay, so remember the tow truck that I was talking about earlier? Now that's become a factor.
Oh, fuck.
And
you can't go back in the computer thing and like tell it because you just don't know what you're doing. Right,
I was like 21 or 22 at the time, so I was still like pretty. I knew what I was doing, but something happened where I couldn't just figure it out. Like that's just something that comes with experience. It's like my job now. Like there were things like little shit that happened when I was younger where I was like, oh, fuck it. It made me pull my hair out, where now I know exactly how to go back and go, oh, here's the problem, fix, and we're good.
Fair experience, yeah.
But yeah, so she's in disbelief and she's like, what? And I'm like, bitch, I told you this was an option. That's why I told you this was an option. So she called the tow truck company.
Was she even gonna pay you for this shit, or was this like free, right? Too. So
it became free the second I wasn't able to get the fucking car to move. It
became a lot more than free, dude. Because now she probably had to fucking pay hella money, I guess, to get that fixed.
I don't think so. I think they just had to take it to the dealership. But I wish this was the day and age of iPhones, because they had a really steep driveway into the garage. I'm ashamed to say it, but I did enjoy watching this because the tow truck driver had to drag the motherfucking car out, and it was like, and then there was a point where it kind of like teetered on the drive.
Oh shit, dude!
And
crazy.
Dude,
was this like a high-end Mercedes too?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
And when Allie and I finally broke up for good, her mom was like, "I should have made you pay for the fucking car." She hit me like with a little party shot.
But also fuck you. I told you that I wasn't sure that this was gonna fucking be okay, you bitch.
When I was younger, I was a little more ambitious. Like
of course, and everyone is, dude. You feel like, oh, I could fucking do anything. You know what I mean? That's pretty much most people to some degree. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was more. I just had I had an innate curiosity, and I wanted to take shit apart to see how it worked. Yeah. Like, fortunately, over time, I learned how to put it back together correctly. Sometimes it didn't always work out so well. Fortunately, most of the time, it was on my own shit.
Yeah.
Or somebody's like junker or whatever.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel as bad than a high-end fucking Mercedes. But also, if she was a bitch, then
I feel like in a sense she set me up for a failure on that, and
maybe she wanted you to eat shit, dude, in that moment. But if she did, also she could have fit you with the bill. So the fact she didn't do that is kind of whatever. At least she didn't fucking.
No, you got to know your laws. I wouldn't have anybody try to come after me for that. I'm not a licensed. It's the same thing when I do like electrical side work. Now, I don't, if it's something that I don't think I can do where it's like good and safe, then I wouldn't do it to begin with, no matter how much money anybody pays me. But also, there are people out there and friends and shit that have had me do stuff that know that if for whatever reason the thing that I worked on stops working, I will come back and make sure that it works again, and that there isn't any issues or whatever.
They're always good with that shit.
But yeah, you gotta. The point of that whole story is you got to know when to not bite off more than you can chew. You know, don't put yourself in a situation to get fucked.
Yeah,
sometimes you just got to say no.
No, that's cool. You know how to do that shit though, dude. I'm not. It's funny because I went to auto shop like for fucking a couple years in high school, and we like broke down a motor and rebuilt it. And I just don't remember any of that shit because honestly, I was just dicking around the whole time because that shit just never really interested me like I thought it would. When the whole Fast and Furious craze was out, you know, everyone wanted to have a fucking street racing car.
Check out my sick Honda. I'm gonna get a turbo kit. I'm gonna order it.
Yeah,
just gotta do
the fucking obnoxiously
more
loud
ships
exhaust and shit, and the fucking carbon fiber wings and all that crazy shit, dude. But
you had kind of a little Fast and Furious car when we were younger.
Yeah,
the Neon,
the little Dodge Neon,
had
dude.
the rims.
It had a sick ass sound system in it. That was what I was proud of. That thing was dope, dude. That shit was sick. I had like the DVD player in the car when that was sick. That was like hot shit back. In the day,
that
dude.
goes back to the fucking going to the tank shit, watching South Park on the freeway.
Yeah.
All right,
another
people,
episode, guys.
We have the 100th episode coming up.
Yeah.
And if you've made
exciting.
it this deep, we would like to make this interactive. We're going to have some friends on it. We're going to be getting a nice hotel suite somewhere to really cock it up. Maybe even
celebrate the 100.
Derek
dude,
and I will rent
flavor.
some matching glittering tuxes so we can look. We're
Oh,
going to
yeah?
crank
You
the
wanna
AC
get
in that
fun-
bitch though, because it's hot. I'm hot right
It's
now.
really
Dude.
not- yeah. I'm down to fucking dress up in some kind of wild outfit, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, we're doing a big blowout for the Hundy. If you have any questions that we will answer questions about the pod.
Yeah, throw some fun
and
questions
we'll throw this
in
on
there.
social too to gather some questions to answer live for the 100th episode. It's going to be a celebration of the podcast, a celebration of the collaborators that we've had on, and just kind of a cool.
And we would like our
milestone.
fans to interact, so I like that idea. Yeah, hit us with some questions in the DMs or email the naturalspod@gmail.com. Hit us up with anything, honestly, and we'll get it on there.
Pass me a note in the hallway, old school. I don't care. Just give me your questions so I can answer them on the 100th episode of this podcast.
For sure, I agree. Cool.
Oh, we forgot to fucking do an intro.
Yeah, we just keep forgetting, dude. We do the cold open shit, and then we forget the fucking intro, dude. Welcome to the Naturals Podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
See you on the next one.
Get some merch. Love you guys.
God damn
Later.
it.